Bienvenidos a Esperanza Bense, donde la Esperanza Bense. Welcome to Esperanza Bense, where hope wins. Let's go ahead and step out of the darkness and into the light. Alrighty. How's it going? Happy Moon Day. Let's play. Let's play with the Morgan Greer Tarot because it's my favorite. Although the Golden Girls, I'm loving. I love them all. I love them all. Let's just reach for this one. Shuffle it up. Hey now, what's so special about today? Well, today happens to be the 30th of March 2026, and our girl Venus is coming home. Oh, goodness gracious. She's been on quite a trip. Like I said in the live stream the other day, which you should check out. Thank you very much for everybody who was there. Oh gosh, it really, you know, Raffi and I, we kind of do like an after show wrap up where sometimes we chit chat, or we chit chat a lot actually. We talk a lot. And I hope it's entertaining or useful for anyone. I think it might be. Why don't you go check it out and let me know? Oh, there's our jumper, 8 of Swords. Well, I guess the only thing holding us back at this point are our own thoughts. If we can't see any options or we can't see any solutions, then we just need to try something a little bit new, and it might open up our neural pathways a little bit, so there's just that little extra space for ideas and for consciousness to flow and for divine intervention to be able to reach us. Okay? Sometimes we feel so stuck. And it's just really hard to get out of those binds, and it's really hard to get out of those, you know, that mental imprisonment. But if you see, you know, she's tied up, and what could happen is if she decides to scooch just a little bit one way or another, she might be able to like loosen these ties and then take off her blindfold and then get back to the castle where she belongs. Swords in the tarot represent thoughts, intellect, air energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, fast moving information. But in this case, this person is letting their thoughts get the better of them, which is holding them back. So we can always think of something else to say, right? Let's think about it. How can I hold her up like this? I hadn't thought about that. And premeditated. I don't want to put her in front of the candle like I do, because in the candle you can't see the candle as well. How about there? Does that work for you guys? Let's pray and play. All right, near past, present tense, near future. Stay tuned. After this little quick hit tarot reading, we're going to talk about the astrology for today and look at the chart. Near past, Ace of Swords. Present tense, 8 of Cups. Near future, 7 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so we're dealing with day-to-day energy today. We might get some inspiration if we follow the advice that Esperanza has given us, and if we decide to just do things just a little bit differently. I mean, I'm talking just simple stuff, like for example, me, like if I always use the one bathroom in the house, like I'm gonna shower in the other bathroom, you know, and just give it a little mix up. Just simple stuff can really just like give your body a chance to get out of patterns, right? This is patterns. This is inspiration. This is divine inspiration at that. This is information coming in. This is cutting through the BS, cutting through your own BS, cutting through other people's BS so that you can reach divine enlightenment. You know, we always want to get a direct line to God, right? We want to be able to have our thoughts reach our spirit and back and forth so that we stay clean and we stay clear. But in the world that we live in, you know, there's a lot of stuff getting sprayed in the sky. There's a lot of stuff going on down here on Earth. And sometimes that ability to connect directly to that clean, crisp information can be thwarted. So, especially nowadays, right? So let's just keep in mind that when that divine inspiration comes in, We are free. Because look at these 2 8s. I was going to say we're free to walk away from situations and emotional loops that no longer work for us. These are the mental loops that aren't working, that are keeping us stuck. These are the emotional loops that keep us tied to a place, whether we need to be there or not. So it's like we're not necessarily sure where we're going. The path is not brightly lit. However, we are going to follow our intuition away from what we know we don't feel like doing anymore. The emotions that we don't want to have, the cups that we don't want to drink. I mean, we know what we don't want. We might not be sure what we do want, but we sure know what we're not going to do. And with the 7 of Pentacles reversed, this is a farmer who has planted good seeds. They're being patient. They're waiting for these seeds to grow. When I see 7 of Pentacles reversed come up in a reading, I don't think that we have to wait too much longer. I think that this means that things are turning around and that there's going to be a little bit of motion. So we're going to see whether the seeds that we planted at that new moon in Pisces are starting to come into fruition. Okay? Stay tuned. I'll talk about the astrology in just a second. Thank you. Okie dokie. So those of you who, thank you very much, by the way, those of you who show up every day for the Quick Hits Tarot and you pay attention to the astrology part, you might notice that my chart looks just a wee bit different. I'm trying to follow Esperanza's advice from the Quick Hits Tarot part of this reading and just do things a little bit differently. So I did not include any fixed stars, asteroids, any of that jazz. I don't even think Black Moon Lilith isn't even on here. So this is the chart that they draw automatically with the orbs that they provide. I usually use a tighter orb and I use more heavenly bodies. So let's look at this and see what they say with this kind of more minimalist chart, but they're giving it a wider orb. So this is giving a lot of leeway to these planets having conversations with themselves. For example, the Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, mini grand trine, everything pointing towards Saturn there, bringing structure and empowering us. Because with Saturn and Pluto in that sextile, I really feel like that's just going to give us that extra bodily energy, the extra air, like the air of Pluto is blowing on the fire of Saturn, and Saturn is gonna, be firm about bringing structure to our thoughts and to our reality, not only just for us, but for what we're broadcasting out towards humanity on a deeper level, being with that Pluto in Aquarius. Uranus in that very full degree of Taurus, this is like the last wave of disruption and surprise and happy accidents that we can benefit from in a financial way, in an earthly way, in a health way, before Uranus moves into Gemini for good. And then we're fighting for our minds. We're fighting for our Eight of Swords moment to turn around. Once Uranus turns into Gemini, that's going to be what bursts those ideas open on a larger scale, larger than just using the other bathroom, okay? Jupiter and Mercury are still in conversation, amplifying any needs to speak out about our own patriotism, about our own love for home, about our own love for country, about our own love for land, about our own love for family, okay? So the big star of the show today is that Venus moving into Taurus. Please check out our last live stream that I did with Rafi, where we talk a little bit more about this full moon in Libra coming up. Thank you. Be sure to book your tarot reading today, because tomorrow is the last day that you can book for the spring sale.